Playback.
Welcome to A Social Place, a new podcast from Amalite Studios and Emil Nava, which is me. I personally have been in the music video business crazily for over 15 years. I started when I was 17. I wanted to bring together people that are around me that I think are amazing and have so much to say and want to create a space where we can come on and talk about all things creative. Welcome to A Social Place. Welcome to A Social Place. This week we have Ev Salomon. Ev is a first assistant director and has worked with basically every big music artist you've ever heard of. He has been doing music videos with some of the biggest directors and some of the biggest artists for a long time. I cannot wait for you to hear this conversation. Ev, I teed you up. Welcome.
What's going on, man?
Welcome.
So good to see you, brother.
So good to see you, man. For those of the listeners that don't know, what is an AD?
Assistant director.
Assistant director.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of times I end up being the voice for the director on set with the crew. I help move things along, stay on schedule, help with logistics.
Support crying directors, support artists having moments. It's very emotional, aren't they, film
Ego
sets?
management.
Ego management. 100% ego management.
That's what it is.
There is a lot of egos on set. We were talking about it last week, actually, saying that it's kind of mad when you're doing those big projects, right? And there's all this, like, the art director and the photographer and there's all these people who have, like, their own agendas, egos, perspectives.
Everybody.
I mean, you especially, like, for me, I'm kind of trying to navigate it, yes, but you're, like, right, basically in the middle of all of these people saying, like, Ev, figure it out for us.
I try not to think about it until I'm in the moment. You know what I mean? Because every situation is different.
Yeah.
Of course, the finish line should be the same, but getting to it is always different. So I approach it differently depending on who I'm working with, where I am, because your environment matters. So you got to read the room sometimes.
And you're working with ultimately the biggest people in the world, right? Biggest directors, biggest artists, biggest kind of everything.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
He's a humble man, but
That's
it's
what
the
I heard.
truth. They all Googled you out there. They were like, no, he's the real deal. I'm like, he is the real deal. What is your favourite ever music video?
Oh, God's Plan. Easy.
God's Plan. Wow.
No disrespect.
Nah. None taken. Because you worked on that, right? Tell us about it. I mean,
it's just the experience. Just the fact that we were really giving things away, helping people. Yeah, I cried twice, actually.
No way.
On that shoot.
And so how did it work? Because I guess from an outsider watching the video, you kind of see the moments of, like, what happens. But
just the edited version.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, were you going to meet all these people? Did they know stuff was happening?
Some of them, they didn't know exactly what was happening, but they know that they needed to be at a certain place at a certain time.
Right.
But they didn't know what was going to happen. You know what I mean? They didn't know if it was going to help them with anything. They just know that there was.
Did they know it was a Drake video? Right. They knew it was a Drake video. They were going to be in a Drake video.
But they didn't know what was happening. And in some places we went, there was going to be a special guest. They didn't know it was Drake. So each situation was different. And we had help from the mayor's office, police department, fire department. So it was
yeah, because it was in Toronto.
No, it was in Miami.
Oh, it was in Miami. Florida, yeah. Wow. I think the reason we wanted to start the podcast was because I get so many questions on social from, like, kids basically being like, how do I get into it? Like, how do you do it? Like, a big thing we want to do is try and help people get into the industry.
Right.
But yeah, how'd you get into it?
Friendships.
I don't even know this.
Oh, well, Well.
Where'd you grow up? How did you crack on? Give us a little backstory.
So all the way back to 1976, I look young, but I'm old as shit.
Fresh as a daisy, mate.
Yeah, born in Haiti. Moved to America when I was 9. Went to New York, and then went to school in New York, and then I ended up moving to LA in 2000 for a young lady, and we're not together anymore.
Classic.
We tried it, didn't work out, so I stayed, and I went, and I was staying with a friend of mine who actually lived in the same building I grew up in New York. And he was Hype Williams' assistant.
No way.
At the time. So, yeah, there was a group of us. We used to call ourselves the S5. There's another AD, you probably know, Kanoko.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was me, him, and then a couple of other guys that were in the industry.
And just quickly, for those people who don't know Hype Williams, he's basically ultimately kind of
Godfather.
Yeah, he's the godfather of music videos, really, isn't he? I mean, Jay-Z, Big Pimpin'. I mean, go on, give us a couple. Missy Elliott,
Missy,
Super Duper Fly.
You've got Belly.
Yeah, Belly. He basically invented the big music
budget music videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
For most people in music videos, they're why we started music videos, really, isn't it?
Yeah, without Hype, you probably wouldn't know X. You probably wouldn't know Benny.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't know Eric White. You know, all those guys come from the school of Hype.
So you're hanging around with the Hype squad.
Yeah, I'm hanging around with them, and then one day, being that at that point I had no job, I didn't know what I was gonna do.
So were they in the industry?
Yeah, they was already there.
Right,
there was
right.
ADs, there was producers. One of them was Hype's on-set photographer.
Got you.
One day they decided, like, hey, do you want to come and PA with us on set?
Yeah.
And I said, fuck it. I'm not doing anything. I don't have no job. I ain't got no girl anymore. I ain't doing shit. So, fuck it. Let's go. And yeah, my first video that I was a PA on was 112 Hot and Wet.
No way.
That was being directed by X. And that one got canned because Puffy didn't like it.
No
So
way.
yeah, so that video got shelved. So my first video ever in the industry got shelved. And my second video was for the same song, different director.
No way.
Yeah. So yeah, and at that point I was a second.
So for people that don't know, that's like managing
all the background.
Yeah, the extras,
the paperwork, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
and the talent though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It featured talent, but the main talent it's the second AD that handled.
Got you with a second.
I was a second.
Right.
Yeah,
just above the above the assist.
Just above the PA.
Yeah. Then how did you transition into?
And then I started making connections in the industry. You know, other production managers, coordinators, other PAs, referrals.
Yeah.
You know, word of mouth is the big thing. I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager.
Yeah.
So every job we got was through word of mouth, was through references. Was, hey, I know this guy who can do this. I know this. He's a great PA. He's a great second AD.
People ask me, like, how do I get into it? It's like, I can do only...
Work your way up.
Yeah, exactly. And I can only do certain things, right? But if you talk to, like, my producer or the producer's coordinator, like, that's how you get through.
That's how I got on. PAs started telling coordinators and office PAs, and then next thing you know, I was a second.
When was the first time you were on a set with like a big artist? I think those moments are always so crazy when you're like, okay, this is the real shit now.
Oh, Destiny's Child.
Yeah. Wow. Which one?
Cater to You.
No way.
That
was my brother. Yeah. Wow. No way.
Yeah, that was my first Beyonce, and Kelly Rowland, and Michelle. That was my first experience with them.
Because you do a lot with Beyonce now, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
wow. And that was when they were like in full Destiny's Child mode.
That was the first big one.
Come on, what was the first one then?
I think the first one we did that was major was Sing.
Ed Sheeran.
With Ed Sheeran.
That was hard, that one as well. That was the puppet. That was the like 10
the driving shots.
10 people underneath. That was the first time I think in my career where I was like, oh my God, this is nothing like what I thought it was going to be like. Like we had this puppet that was supposed to do all the things, and then it's like, oh yeah, but you got to have 10 people.
You got 10 people, yeah. Everything's got to be raising up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember Ed told me, like, don't make it too risky, you know? Like, and when Ed arrived, we were in the strip club. with the puppet, and the puppet was in the toilet of the strip club with the stripper, and Ed walked in and was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, oh no, I was just like, we're just getting it because
just
like,
in case
it's just maybe the X-rated version. He was like, get it out. What are the favorite people you've worked with?
You know, Rihanna, I love her. B, I love her. Ed is cool. Calvin is cool. Drake is cool. The Weeknd. Oh my God! Remember our Weeknd experience?
That
totally
shoot
cool.
was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was.
That was like people. Remember that person got COVID, and then there was like someone passed out, and then it was like I felt like we were. That was.
Yeah, somebody tested positive, and then we had to call in the guy with the steamer thing.
Yeah, to hose down the truck.
Yeah.
Well, no, go on. So what else did we do? So we did Ed. We did a few Calvins.
We did a few Calvins.
We've won a few
Actually,
we
you know
got a
what?
few
Hold
VMAs together then, because the Calvins won the VMA. The Ed Sheeran Sing VMA. No, you're my fucking lucky VMA charm. All right, I'm going to remember that. When I feel like one's going to win a VMA, I'm going to call you and say, you have to turn up.
I'm trying to tell you. I had actually made a list of some of the videos that we did. But
Oh,
I can't
yeah, come
find
on.
it. We did Talk.
Khalid Talk. Charlie Puth. Yeah, love a bit of Charlie.
Heroes. Ava Max.
Alesso. Ava Max.
This is what you came for, actually.
Rihanna. That's another VMA one.
Yeah, and a shitload of Calvins.
Loads of Calvins.
My favorite was actually Promises.
That one goes down. We creative directed his Brits live show performance, and when that song came on, we had this massive glitter ball come down from the ceiling, like huge glitter ball, and then it's just like spin it. That was a great fun video.
Yeah, I love that video.
I feel that video said something. And what do you think the hardest one you worked on is?
It was one that I did with Rich Lee for Fergie. Yeah. It was where we had like a theme where we had this double-decker truck. I think it was La La Land or LA Confidential or something like something LA related. And we art department this double-decker bus, and we started down. We had a caravan, and we was good. The theme was we was going all around LA. And different people were going to jump on the bus. Right. And we had all these different cameos. So we started in downtown. We had to go all the way to Venice, down to Santa Monica, go to Inglewood, pick up YG in Inglewood, and then drive up to Hollywood while he's performing all the way up on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, my God.
Bro. And then back downtown at night. So, and we had a Russian arm. We had cameras in vans. You had cameras on the bus. You had cameras coming on the bus, off the bus, stopping to pick up cameos here. I
feel like those ones when you have famous people on the street are just like they're mayhem. Paparazzi,
everywhere.
People, you can't control that, right?
At all.
Us, we want to control the set, but like
you can't.
When you're out in the middle with like,
imagine that driving.
Yeah.
Remember hanging Charlie in the middle of downtown?
I do, yeah. We hung him upside down. He reminds me of that. We talk about it a lot on this. It's so mad what we do on these sets, and what we
are blessed, man.
Yeah, we are, because we have such an interesting moment in that, right? Because I feel like we got this treatment. We're like, this is the idea. Now, how do we really make this a reality? We've kind of got the location. We're in the space or whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, how do we actually do it? Like, how do we coordinate this? And sometimes we coordinate it perfectly. And then that's why I think what you said about being in the moment is so key, right? Because even on the Rihanna one, right? It's like you set it up exactly how you want to set it up.
It never goes that way.
And then the clothes aren't there. And then something happened. Or like suddenly it's like there's always a problem. What a fucking world. All right, here we go. In your experience, what are the most important tips to get a shoot running smoothly?
Knowing location, knowing your talent, knowing timing, the preparation going into the shoot. Nothing, period.
I can be pretty bad at prep. I can be bad at prep.
But again, you're one of those in the moment directors.
Yeah, I can't stand on this set and not be like shooting it, So when everyone's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, I don't really know.
I had to learn it the hard way. But yes, I hate prep too sometimes, but it's important.
It is. No, you're so right. And I think as well for young directors or people watching who are like trying to do it, I think that it is key, isn't it? When you've got no money,
right?
And like you may have only an hour in a location. You got to know what you're getting in there.
Prep. Take your time. Know your location. Definitely know what the weather's doing. Definitely know what time your sun is rising and setting, because my first AD shoot, I think he's Cobra Starship, I think it was.
Right.
And I called in the crew too early because I didn't check what time sunrise. So we came in like an hour and a half too early, and then we wasted an hour and a half literally sitting there.
Oh, God, yeah. No, the sunset is always the one. Like, it's a real reality, the sun will go down.
It will
go down. You were on Normani the second day when we were in the rain, right? And it was like pouring, and we were out on the beach trying to film
trying to figure it out. Yes.
No,
and then we had to shoot go to Marianne's house or friend's house.
A friend's house to shoot in the pool. That's the thing, the weather and the sunset. You can't control that shit. So, one question I had is, you've been directing a little bit recently as well, right?
I'm retired.
You're retired already?
I'm retired.
I just kind of wanted to know, because obviously I came from ADing, right, and then became a director, and similar. How did you feel it compared? How did you find that comparison? When you started directing,
the politics.
Yeah.
I mean, passion projects. When you're directing passion projects that you create, you develop, you shoot your own. Yeah, those are fun. But once you start and have to deal with labels and management and this and that, and everybody, like we said earlier, everybody have their own agendas. 100%. So everybody, they think, oh, this is what I feel should be going on for the artist. This is what I think. This is what should, you have all these voices. Sometimes it gets annoying.
I'm very conscious that in my career I've been I've been very stressy on sets, and I can have been super stressful, and I know that I don't come across great on set sometimes, and I feel that a lot of that comes from, as a director, you're trying to deliver this thing that's going to be good for everyone, but everyone has their own
has an opinion,
and everyone's trying to guide you in a certain way, and then you're like, okay, but in the end, if you hate this,
it's
you're
your fault.
all going to look at me and say, you messed that up.
Every time.
So it is very tough to be in the middle of that and be listening to everyone's feedback, but basically say ultimately.
At that point, you're saying, then why did you hire me?
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Why did you bring me? Did you bring me just to have a punching bag, or because you like my ideas and the videos and everything, my past work? So, give me the benefit of the doubt that I could get it done.
Well, what a perfect time for this question. What makes a great vibe on set?
It starts with the director.
Yeah.
It starts with the director because, the director is definitely the vibe setter. If he or she, is cool and they're not tense, they don't, get frazzled easily, then that creates a mood. But if you have somebody who's always scared and tense and don't know how to communicate, it kills the mood. Especially
when it's I always feel that getting the art, like you say, it kind of starts the director, and then it's how do you get the artist on side, so where they work on set, and because I think that's what you have as well. I feel like there's, with a lot of the things we did, when the artist came on, they saw me and you and were like, dope. Right. Ev's running the shit. Emil's here, and they're just we know they're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be good.
What I had on my side when we started working together is I was already kind of established in the music video world, so a lot of the artists I have already worked with. So I had already established a relationship with them. So every time they will come on our set, they'll be like, oh shit, what's up?
If you could pick another career, what would it be? What would it have been?
Well, before I started in the film thing, I was in marketing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a promotions director for a marketing company in New York.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Marketing is a good place to be right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of what we said with the social media side.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's everyone's trying to crack what's a new modern day marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably still be there if I didn't move to LA.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing in New York. I was doing cross-country promotional tours for different artists and companies and stuff like that.
Look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now, mama.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into the industry?
Make friends with people who are in the industry, not so much the big wigs, like we said earlier.
Yes, great advice.
It's definitely your peers that will get you to where you need.
Especially with social media now, right? I mean, I just think that we have so many, Tyler, who's not here today, but she usually kind of directs it. She's our photographer, in-house photographer. She literally just pulled up in my DMs and was like, hey, these are the photos I take. I'd love to work with you. And next thing you know, she's working for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's happened to me too. There's kids on my DM like, hey, how can I,
Yeah, you always do have great people that you're bringing in. Here's Ev's. We'll put your social media right here. Follow Ev. Slip in the DMs. Well, Ev, it was a fucking pleasure.
Oh, dope, man. Oh, God, that was good.
It goes quick, huh? Oh, Ev Salomon, what an amazing convo that was. This week, I would love for you to break down one of your most favourite music videos and pull out all the shots within the video and think about how you would make it better. And send them to me at A Social Places Instagram. I can't wait to see.
It's a social place, oh yeah, it's a social place.